Alright, so welcome to another video in my eBay repairs playlist. So a lot of people in the comments have told me that this is one of their favorite playlists, so this video is for you. What we have here is a Xperia M2, a Sony Xperia M2. Here's the listing for it. It was listed as water damaged, and they had tested certain things in this phone, so it does turn on. But the two major issues were water damage and the touchscreen doesn't work. So the touchscreen not working is probably due to the water damage. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be taking a look at it and trying to fix it. I'll be using my ethanol. So obviously the water damage, so we'll have to use ethanol to clean the motherboard. We'll be doing that and we'll see what we get. So now, as you can see in this listing, there's only one picture, just the back of it. So there's no picture of the front. So I think it said it wasn't cracked, but I can't remember. But this is the original listing, and yeah. So also don't forget to like this video and check out my channel. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. All right, so now let's jump right in. So the Xperia M2 is an older phone from 2014 that runs Jelly Bean. It's shipped with Jelly Bean, and I think it's upgradable to Lollipop. I'm not really sure. I've never used one. I had a Sony, the only Sony phone I ever had was a tiny Xperia Tipo thing. It wasn't even available in the US. And this, I can assume, is not that popular in the US either. So let's have a look. What else is in the bag? Nothing much. A little protection there. So the screen is cracked. All right. So that probably was in the listing. So here's a fun fact about this phone. It was originally for like, I think $17 or something. I can't remember. But as you can see here, I got an offer from that seller because I've bought so many things from him. So he just basically offered me that phone for 4 point something. No, I can't remember. It's on the screen anyway. So that was it was like 74 to 75% off the original price. So I already looked at the phone and I ignored it because it was way too expensive for what it was. But then I thought, if he's offering it at a cheaper price, screw it, I'll get it. It was like 75% off. So cracked screen, water damage, bad touchscreen, good power and charge, port and volume. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna just directly plug this to the outlet and see if it turns on, though they have. I'm gonna clean it out first and then I'm gonna plug it in, because the more you try to turn on a water damaged phone, the more chances of you could fry something. But I don't have much hope for this phone, because if a phone falls in water, you immediately have to put it in alcohol, at least within a day. This phone's probably been sitting somewhere for months or maybe even years, because I mean, this phone is a 2014 model. So yeah, I don't really have hope for this phone, but that's okay. It's a cheap phone and we'll see if we could fix it. But I won't put, too much effort on this phone. I have another project going on that I'm recording while doing it. It's a pain in the ass, but it's a phone that deserves it. It's an HTC Evo 3D, one of those 3D phones from 2011, back when that was a thing. That thing is a perfectly working phone, but has a bad digitizer. And instead of replacing it, I'm trying to fix the digitizer. So that will be up probably soon. I hope. It's been months that I've been procrastinating on it, and I recently started on it again. So we'll see. But when I do, I'll upload it. All right, so let's go take this thing apart. But first, I got to figure out how to take it apart, because I've never taken apart a Sony phone. All right, let's do that. All right, so sorry for any sound quality difference and video quality difference, because my iPhone 11's battery died, so I had to put it on the charge. And this is my iPhone 7 that I'm using to record now, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's start heating the back of this. I found out it's very similar to taking apart a Moto X first and second gen. It's just a back part, just comes off. It's pasted. I'll just heat it up and see what happens. And I have my tools here to take stuff apart. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like way too serious with this phone. Again, like I said, it's just a cheap phone. I hope my HTC project comes through well, because I really want that phone to work again. It does work, like I said, but you know, it I want to keep it in like stock condition, because I just want it that way. Um, and I have an LG G4 that refuses to turn on as well, and an Optimus 5X. So two LGs and one HTC that are just giving me a really bad time. The two LGs, as usual, the shitty LG boot loop issue, but both of them won't turn on now at all. The Optimus 5X turned on initially, but now it doesn't turn on at all. The G4 is completely dead. So I don't know. I have to keep trying. I got a new multimeter, so I got to start using that. Check for voltages and continuity and all that stuff to see if there's current passing through the motherboard and all. But I'm recording those, and if I ever do upload them, they'll be on my channel. All right. All right. Let's try prying this thing up now. And for you people who want to know, my heat gun is a POTA cable. It's a $26 heat gun, and it's been doing a really good job for the past 1.5 years. The only downside of it is that it does not have a temperature like reading or anything like that. So I don't have a really flathead screwdriver, but we'll use my nail. Aha! My nail has more luck than the screwdriver. There's a ribbon here, but that should not rip. Yeah, oh, there we are. Okay, so heat gun makes everything much more easier. So that's the internals. Battery looks good. Where are the water indicators on this? Or does Sony even include a water damage indicator? Or is it on the outside? I also noticed this is missing, this plastic paneling. Is there a water indicator somewhere? How about in the SD card slot? Okay, I think that's the water indicator. So it's white, and it's supposed to be red, I think, if it's water damaged. I'm not really sure, but no, yeah, with iPhones it's white, and if it turns red, that means it's water damage. So maybe the water didn't get to that part. Maybe it was just a spill and not like it didn't fall in water or something like that. So let's get rid of the battery connection here. Pull tab. Please come out the first time. I do not want to, have... Oh boy, it's not coming out that easy. Might as well leave the battery in there. But I'll have to check the battery later. A lot of these connectors are glued down with like, I don't know, those things. But they don't really need that. Okay, so the battery is pretty stuck down. Yeah, it's not coming off, and I don't want to force it because I don't want to replace the battery, because if you try to force it's going to bend. Alright, so let's start taking this thing apart. I see, I don't know what those screws are called, but do I have it here? Nope, I gotta go get that type of screw. Be right back. Alright, so I have the required screwdriver here. Let's start taking out these connectors first. They're all glued down for some reason. Yeah, no, that's not glue, that's a shield. Okay, I'll need that. I'll just paste that over here because we'll need that shield. This one is one of these. What did I use? Oh, better not. That spud tool's busted. Let's just lift up and pull back. If you want to know why I prefer using my fingers to take these out instead of tools, is that unless they're plastic tools, which I don't have, I do not use metal tools on those. they could break easily. Okay, so let's get rid of these screws. I'll just unscrew it and skip to that part. Alright, so I unscrewed all of that, but it seems like we do have to take out the battery to access a bunch of other things underneath. There's a ribbon running through there, because I looked at another disassembly video on this thing. I hope the battery doesn't bend. Oh, that broke. Oh. Come on, don't bend. God damn it. Oh, here we go. That's not a proper tool. I'm trying to use this, but it doesn't want to come out. Jeez, it's stuck there. So I'll try and pry the battery out and jump to that. Alright, I managed to take the battery out, but geez, they were not thinking of repairability when they put this thing together. This does not pull out, clearly, but it was pasted in many places like that, so yeah, the battery didn't bend though, so that's good. Alright, so I also noticed another thing over here. That's another water sensor, and that hasn't tripped either, so I don't know why it said water damage. Maybe they were just suspecting because they saw a mark on the back of the phone, but it doesn't seem to have any marks either. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, I'll just leave I don't need the bottom half. There's another small circuit board down there, but I don't really see why I should take that out. That's just the speakers and the charging port and stuff. I don't think I'll need to take that part out. Also, when I tried to take the antenna cable off, it wouldn't come off, so it just came off with the entire piece like that, as you can see there. It broke its soldering and just came off, so I could resolder that, but honestly I'll never use this as a phone, so yeah, probably. And it's probably locked onto some carrier, so yeah, I don't care about the antenna cable. Okay, so it seems to have a ledge like thing here, so I have to pull down on this to bring the bolt out. My finger is I caught my finger on the grater that day, so I don't have full strength in that finger to pry stuff out. I had to pry the battery out like that, because if that's stuck down, was it 2014, so the glue matures with age, as I remember, and makes it even harder to take them out. Yeah, this is not really cool. This phone has a kind of a ledge-like thing here, so that's the motherboard is wedged in there, so it's not as easy as it was in that disassembly video. But yeah, it makes sense, because I had a friend that used to repair phones. That was his job. He had a small repair shop. He told me that Sony phones were not really, repair-friendly phones because of the way they were built. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comment section whether that's true, whether you have fixed a Sony phone before, or whatever. Yeah, it's definitely not easy to pull out. There's not much holding it in there either, except for that ledge. Okay, I think I got it now. Is this a part of the boat? Yes, it is. Seems to wanna. Aha, there we are. All right, I'll just jump to the part where I take it out. All right, so I realized that the micro USB cable port was holding it in there. That was the issue. And I also found out where they got that water damage information from. There's a third indicator on the micro USB port area that has a red indicator, so that means water has gone through the micro USB port. That's why they say it was water damage. So we'll have water damage in this general area, but since there's nothing on the SD card slot side, since it's still white there, we'll have a isolated damage. But now they said the touch screen is bad as well. The connector, there could be some water in there, but we're gonna soak this board just for good times, all time's sake. Well, let's just get rid of the camera first. Don't want even alcohol getting in there. It's an 8 megapixel sensor, 1080p, 30 fps, nothing great over there. It's got HDR. Why are all these glued down? Alright, so let's go dunk this in alcohol. Be right back. Okay, so it's time to put some ethanol on this. This is ethanol in a dish soap bottle, if you're wondering. We have a heat pad here. Let's take that off. I might even just replace it with thermal paste, but we shall see. So that's on that's the main processor. Oh, is this the main processor? No, that's a Samsung. What processor did this? Was it yeah, it had a Qualcomm. So yeah, so that's probably the main processor. It says Lipda there. Then where's the main processor? That's definitely not it. That's the onboard memory. That's a memory chip. So yeah, that's probably got to be the processor because it's got a Qualcomm processor, but it says Lipda there. So I don't know. We shall see. So I'm just gonna douse this in alcohol and just wipe it off with a Q-tip. Let's just put some alcohol there on the ground there, so I can just douse it in that. So what the alcohol does, it displaces water, if you were wondering. But I gotta be fast because it evaporates quite fast, if you know alcohol. This is ethanol, so it's basically a fuel, but it is what we use for, what I use at least, for motherboards and cleaning water damage in general. I should be dunking it, like I said, that's the best method, but I don't have much of this stuff anyway, because I have a few more projects coming along and I need it for that, but I'll still, and it usually goes to waste if you just dunk it in it. But yeah, let it do its thing. I always use this. I recently used this method for a friend's laptop as well. His laptop he spilled Coke on his laptop and he thought that's the end of it, but I was like, no, hold up, I'm gonna bring some alcohol over and clean it. So let's just do that. So focus mainly on that micro USB port because it had water in, the water indicator was set off by moisture, so I'm guessing someone just spilled water on it. But this phone, as I remember, is supposed to be splash proof to a certain extent, so unless, and that's still there, the flap, so the flap probably failed at its job and did not protect the micro USB port. So hope this works, hope it stops functioning. Let's focus on this as well, the digitizer connector and the LCD connector. I think these are the digitizers. We'll just clean all the connectors. The alcohol is burning off those like things, the stuff that it was pasted with, but that's okay. I don't really need those. As you can see, it's just burning the stuff off. Might as well just take them off, because they might be annoying to, you know, deal with later. So I'll just let that dry and jump back to the video. So I have that cleaned. Let's keep that to a side now and go back to the rest of the board. Or should I actually focus on this part? Because that's a speaker and stuff. Doesn't seem to be watermarks all over here. I don't think I really need to focus on that part, since that's just a speaker and there's no charge port. There's just the camera switches here. And I don't think water got there because it's probably just in this isolated area. So I might just clean this area off too. The ribbons and the stuff like that. The thing is, I'm wondering now, the hell is that blue stuff? The thing I'm wondering is that, oh, there's another. I think it's just another indicator. That's what took off. Whatever. What I'm wondering is there any other issue with this phone due to the water? Did it reach the battery? I'm assuming it did not reach the battery because it's probably in this isolated area. But we shall see. What on earth is this thing? Must be like some form of control box or something. I don't know. But yeah, so now I'll just go reassemble it and let's try powering it on. Okay, so I have the phone partially put back together here, but everything that needs to work will work. This is the broken connector that I said, the antenna band. But okay, so now let's go try and power it on. I'm assuming the battery, oh no, there is battery in it. It vibrated. Okay, so Sony. And again, I didn't power it on right away because, you know, the alcohol would have got rid of all the moisture in the phone, and it's always good to start the phone without moisture. Let's see if that fixed the touchscreen. And I could repair the screen. Oh, is it Sprint? Oh, so it's Sprint. Is that the Sprint logo? Yeah, I think it's Sprint locked. Oh, so it fixed the touchscreen. Nice. Nice. That's what I want to see. So English, United States, done, blah, 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 whatever. Please insert SIM card, screw off. Okay. Calling my girlfriend. What? Is there personal information on this thing? Wait, that's not Sprint. Videotron. That was the same logo at startup. I have no idea what that is. So please tell me in the comments what on earth Videotron is. The battery's at 69%, so there's a joke for you. Yeah, the touchscreen works after that alcohol. See, that's what makes alcohol so versatile when it comes to electronics. It just fixes, just displaces water and fixes anything. So that's great. So I'm assuming that was water between those connectors, and that's why the touchscreen isn't working. Wasn't working when the seller said it wasn't, like in the description. But now it is perfectly working. And what is this thing running? Let me check. I wanna cover the serial number there. About phone. So it's running Android 4.4.4. So what was that? Jelly Bean. So I think I can upgrade this to Lollipop. Let's connect this to Wi-Fi. So we do have Wi-Fi now. There's a bit of bleed on the screen, as you can see there. The LED lighting's coming back, but that's okay. So let's see if we have a software update about phone. And yeah, I said it has a Qualcomm processor. I think that's an no, that's not an S4, but it's a Qualcomm processor. So software update center. Let's see. It's their old update center for Sony. I remember this looking identical to my Xperia Tipo. Let's see if we can get this thing updated. So loading. I'll just let that load. Now let's skip to when it is done. So something strange is going on. It kept, this is the second time I clicked loading. But it says 4.4.4, but it could, I double checked, it could upgrade to 5.1. And it's not. But that's probably just some issue. I can probably do it through a computer. I have a theory on this phone why it's still stuck with 4.4.4, which is one of the first updates it shipped with. It was just only given with one update. That this phone was really roughly used, as you can see with all the damage. It was used for a really short time, because now I've been using it for like 6 minutes with the screen on and like that. And the battery's only dropped 1%, and it's only a 2,300 milliamp hour battery. So I'm assuming that since the battery is really healthy, this phone didn't have a long life. It probably got its screen cracked and was really roughly used, and then the water finally got to it and the touchscreen stopped working. So I'm assuming, like my Apple Watch Series 1, it had a really short life because of an issue. But in the Series 1, it was a fault in the watch. That line across the display, if you've seen that video, you can go check that out. But in this case, it was just whoever used it really just didn't give a shit about it. They really used it really roughly, and that's why it had a short life. But the battery life on this thing is pretty good for a phone that old. I mean, it should have at least dropped 2-3% by now, but it was at 69. Now it's just 68 after 6 minutes, and it's a pretty small battery, 2300 milliamp hours, as I remember. But yeah, the updates are not coming through for some reason, but it'll just stick with 4.4.4 for now. So let's check camera. Let me just duck down there. I do not want to show my face. Remember, nope. Camera looks okay. Your average 2014 camera. It's got a flash. Let's rotate the camera. How do you do that? Where's the... Oh, here we are. That's the front camera. It's a 1.2 megapixel, I think. So is this a success? Hell yeah, it is. It's a success. I'm not going to replace the screen unless I get it for like $1 to $2, but I think the screen's around $10 to $20 from China. I didn't see them from the US, but from China it's $10 to $20. I do not want to spend that much. Let's see if all the buttons work. Yep. Camera shutter. Wait, I think the camera shutter doesn't work. But anyway, I don't think I'll be... No, it does work. It does work. But it just won't, like those Nokia phones, it doesn't take you to the camera when you press the shutter. You have to go into the camera for the shutter to work. But yeah, it is a success. And I will... oh, this phone is from Washington. Because though it's been reset, its location stuff is still on. Yeah, the seller was from Tacoma, so it makes sense. But yeah, so this is a success. I'm not going to be replacing the screen unless I get it for a really sick price. But yeah, perfect success. I'll just go put this thing together again, and it'll just go into my whatever phone collection. It's not a special phone of any sort. It's not like an iPhone 2G or an HTC Evo 3D or a T-Mobile HTC G1. It's nothing special, but it's a good phone to just have lying around. Might use it for storage. It's got 8 gigs or 16 gigs of internal, I can't remember. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Everyone who keeps up with this series. Please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in my next video.